everyone, welcome back to my channel. Stay tuned. Let's continue with NCERT grade 8 4th chapter Bepin Choudhary's Lapse of Memory. Let's continue with part 3. Here Bepin Babu is right now at the office, and after having his lunch he is thinking that I've been working in the office for 25 years and he is a very good, careful and correct person, and he won't forget even a small minute detail. So to forget a big episode was a big wonder which is swirling around his head. So he comes back to home and he lies down on his bed and thinks about Ranchi. He always wanted to go to Ranchi, but he had never been to Ranchi. So he remembers very clearly. So he is just strolling in his bed. At that time, one Mr. Chuni Babu comes to see him. He is none other than Bepin Choudhary's friend who always wanted to get some help from Bepin Babu in the form of job or money. But always Bepin Choudhary refuses to see this gentleman Chuni Babu. So what happens? Today he wants to meet him because he wants to ask him about 1958 trip. So now he asks the servant to ask him to stay back, and he straight away goes and asks that, do you remember anything about 1958? Are you sure that I went to Ranchi? Immediately Chuni Babu says that, do you remember what was my previous job? He says that you worked as a travel agent. So this Chuni Babu, he worked as a travel agent in the past. Now he is not a travel agent, but he was a travel agent who booked the ticket to Ranchi for Bepin Babu. So he remembers well, and he tells an incident that when Bepin Babu entered the train compartment, his fan was not working. So Chuni Babu called for an electrician and fixed the fan. So this incident he tells. So after that, our Bepin Choudhary decides to meet Dr. Paresh Chanda. So Dr. Paresh Chanda is a young doctor who sees him and asks his desperate story. So now Dr. Paresh Chanda comes to a conclusion that our Bepin Choudhary has got a lapse in memory. Lapse in a memory means he forgot a particular episode from his life. So now the doctor gives him a nerve tonic and tranquilizer. Tranquilizer is a medicine which reduces the stress and worry of a person. And he advises Mr. Bepin Choudhary to sleep, because according to him, sleep is essential and many symptoms can be subsided because of sleep. Now Bepin Babu felt somewhat better in the next morning. After breakfast, he rang up to his office and gave some instruction, and then he got a first class ticket for Ranchi on the same evening. So he decides to go to Ranchi. So he gives some instructions in the office and tells that he is going to Ranchi. So here we come to the end of the third part.